trauma bonds. Got close off of battle scars. Equal pain, so we think it's equal game. Same team, but it's different hearts. Same goals, but it's different shots. Thought we was winning the same. Turns out you were just running me game. Should've known, but I couldn't guess it. It's a damn shame.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hoop MCs. We're recording this right after NBA trade deadline day. I'm joined by my co-host Nassim. What's up?
What's up, Hassan? How are you today?
Not good, man. As a Houston Rocket fan, not good.
Did we just let him go?
Yeah,
get rid of it already.
No, we'll save our emotions later. But I figured for this episode, let's go ahead and give our 3 biggest winners and 3 biggest losers for NBA trade deadline. We'll go ahead and start from like the 3rd biggest winner, 2nd biggest winner, and the 1st biggest winner, and same with loser. We're gonna start off with the winners. So you said you wanted to do winners?
Yeah, I'll take care of winners. Don't worry.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so this one shouldn't come as a shocker. I think Miami is my 3rd biggest winner.
Okay.
You said we're gonna talk about it later, so I won't say. But can I say what they get? No. Okay,
nah.
I'll just say they're the 3rd biggest winner.
Stick with the plan.
Okay, all right. And then the 2nd biggest winner to me is Denver.
Okay.
And then the biggest winner, I think number 1 and 2 can flip-flop, is going to be Chicago Bulls. I think Denver and Chicago equally won the trade deadline, in my opinion.
Okay. So I didn't even I didn't put the minimal time needed in order to actually to order this right. So this is off the top of my head. But I would say the 3rd biggest loser is probably the Los Angeles Lakers. The 2nd biggest loser would have to be probably the Los Angeles Clippers. And then the biggest loser of today is the Houston Rockets. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the winners first, yeah?
Yeah, all right, we'll start with the winner.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Miami, they're the reason that the Rockets are your biggest loser is they got Victor Oladipo for nothing, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave away a couple picks, I think, but they gave away Avery Bradley and Kelly Olynyk, which impacted them.
He went for free. They literally got the guy for free. That's ridiculous, man. Literally, Oladipo, don't get me wrong, this dude's stock went down this season, but he was playing on a bad team. So obviously your stock's going to drop. But he wasn't far removed from being an all-star and a defense, one of the best defensive players. And he was actually averaging 21 points a game. They got a 20-plus point per game scorer for free. Bananas, man.
I know you're very frustrated, but honestly, this just makes the East that much more entertaining. I mean, Miami, I told you they were sleepers all season long, even though I have the Nets winning it. But, I mean, this just makes the fight between the Nets, Bucks, and the what am I trying to say? The Heat, that much more competitive. So I'm excited, honestly. They got a really great guy for nothing, and they didn't even have to get rid of anybody in their core. So that's a solid team they got there.
I want to go ahead and revise my list real quick because I just thought about it. I would say the 3rd biggest loser is the city of LA, so that covers the Lakers and the Clippers. Okay. The 2nd biggest loser is Kyle Lowry, and then I'm going to keep the 1st one with Victor Oladipo. All right, let's get back to the biggest. What were we doing? The winners, right?
Yeah. So you want me to do my 2nd?
Yeah, do the 2nd.
Oh, okay.
Do the 2nd.
So again, 1st and 2nd to me can flip. We'll start with Denver. I mean, they got you. By the way, I was super upset when you tweeted.
Yeah, I made a mistake on that one.
Okay.
I for sure messed that one up. I think I was just really pissed that what's it called? They gave up RJ Hampton, and I was like, yo, we could get RJ Hampton if we trade Oladipo there. But yeah.
So you brought your emotions into it.
Emotions were into it, naturally.
Okay. Yeah. For reference, the trade was. Let me look up the official trade.
So just give you... the trade was they got Gary Clark and Aaron Gordon.
Harris.
What?
Gary Harris, not Clark.
Yeah, no. Gary Clark and Aaron Gordon went to Denver.
Oh, there was two Garys involved in
Yeah,
that trade. My
two
bad, my
Garys,
bad.
man. Gary Harris and R.J. Hampton, and I think, was it 2 first-round picks?
Just one.
One first-round
looking at
pick?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 first-round pick went back to, that makes sense, because R.J. Hampton was a first-round pick, technically. So, yeah. I think, honestly, nobody lost in that trade. I think Magic, honestly, probably could have gotten the better end of it just because R.J. Hampton is untapped, He didn't really get much playing time. But, no, actually, never mind. I think I'm going to give this one, I'm going to chalk this a W, probably Orlando probably slightly won the trade.
Really?
Yeah.
I
would say so.
I think for the media impact that Denver's getting, like they won that trade just because. I mean, Aaron Gordon, you're not going to replicate him from with anyone else on the team. R.J. Hampton and Gary Harris is not Aaron Gordon. I think he fills that position better than Jeremy Grant did whenever. Okay, maybe I'm stretching a little, but when Jeremy Grant was there, I mean, that's a nice filler. Instead of having Grant, you have Aaron Gordon. So I don't know, man. I know I've been kind of just saying Lakers all the way in the West, but maybe there's some competition there now.
Maybe. But yeah, exactly. So Jeremy Grant, like you're substituting essentially Jeremy Grant with Aaron Gordon. I don't know if honestly, like you can't even look at it with like who the Magic are getting back because they were like the 4th worst team. So they weren't going anywhere to begin with. Second of all, Markelle Fultz is hurt. Now they got another guy like R.J. Hampton who doesn't necessarily have to play the point guard. He can actually, like he's a combo guard, so he can probably play that position next year as well. And they're also going to get a draft pick. It'll be like in the 20s or whatever if it's next year. But I think for who Aaron Gordon is, like I don't think he's worth 2 first-rounders, but at the end of the day, they got 2 first-rounders out of him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a fair judgment. Like you said, there's really not a loser in that trade. Both assessed what they needed and they got it. So
All right, move on to the biggest winner. Wait, was that your biggest winner, or are we doing the 3rd biggest winner now?
This would be like the biggest winner.
Okay.
Like 1 and 2 were tied to me. So this.
Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago getting Vucevic.
Major.
That is huge for them. I know, like, they're not considered contenders, but, I mean, they just got an all-star for Otto Porter and Wendell Carter and 2 first-round picks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's worth the price to pay if you're a young playoff team making the push right here. I mean, him paired up with Zach LaVine is pretty scary, not going to lie.
Yeah, exactly. So the Bulls were probably, like, a fringe, like, play-in team. I think now Vucevic makes them probably they'll probably get that 8th spot if that. So I think this is good for the city of Chicago. They're gonna get a playoff team finally. I don't know what Vujicic's what's his face's name. I don't know what his I just saw Myers Leonard's name come up with Oklahoma City. Did OKC just sign the guy?
No, they traded for him like a couple of weeks ago. Remember with Trevor Ariza?
Oh my God! Yeah, that's right. Oh, but they just waived him. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say OKC's really gonna pick up Myers Leonard.
They cut him after they got him.
Okay. But yeah, no, like what I was saying. I think the city of Chicago is the biggest winner today. So good for them.
Honestly, at the end of the day, you can't. It doesn't hurt to have an all-star join a young playoff team pushing. So kind of obviously. It's two completely different scenarios, but Chris Paul joining the Suns, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Again, much different, but, I mean, it's a good push for them.
Yeah. Okay, let's go over to the loser side. Let's start off with the Clippers. So I said the city of LA. I'm going to start off with the Clippers. So initially, I thought, it was a good deal for them, Rondo, for Lou Will. And maybe it will be, because their biggest weakness was the point guard spot. But Rondo has sucked this year. He's also under contract for next year as well. And is Lou Will, he has 1 year left, if I'm not mistaken?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. So they're taking on an extra year contract. They lose kind of like a scorer in Lou Will. But at the same time, they're getting like a point guard that they need to facilitate the offense. I don't know. I'm still gonna group them as a loser, TBH, just because of the fact that like Atlanta's just gonna get another scorer other than Young, which they need.
Yeah, that's good for Atlanta. They were kind of fringe my top 3 winners.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. As soon as the trade went down, my immediate thoughts were exactly what you said. They needed a point guard. I will say playoff Rondo, I really believe is a real thing. I mean, we saw it last year. He actually did play pretty well. So who knows what happens in the playoffs with him. But, I mean, giving Paul George and Kawhi Leonard an actual point guard and not Patrick Beverly, I think gives them a better chance. Although, they did lose points in Lou Williams.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't really need Lou Will, I think, if you got that stacked of a roster to begin with. And plus, Lou Will, like, major drop-off compared to last year. Like, he was getting 29 minutes per game. He's now getting 22. He averaged 18 points last year. Now he's averaging 12. So it's like you're seeing, like, a drastic drop-off in production from him. So I think all in all, like, I wouldn't necessarily say like they lost bad or it's a major loss for the Clippers. So I don't know. I'd still group them as the 3rd biggest loser.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that they could have got a better guard. Like, they missed out on Kyle Lowry, which I don't know the details about, and I know you want to discuss him later. But like,
so wait, who are you talking about? The Clippers?
Yeah.
Were the Clippers ever in the running?
Was it them or the Lakers? I thought
the Lakers. So I put the city of LA because I wanted to talk about the Clippers and Lakers together. Let's talk about the Lakers now, making up the other.
I thought the Clippers were involved in it.
So supposedly, I don't know if this was validated or not by like Woj or Shams, but they had, I think, maybe a trade in place, but the Lakers didn't want to give up Talen Horton-Tucker, which I don't know why they're doing this to themselves.
If that's the case, you go first, but if that's the case, it might be the dumbest thing.
So if you look at the contracts, I think LA probably needed to get rid of a lot of salary, so it would have involved a bunch of rotation guys. Like, I think Schroeder would have been gone. I think KCP would have been gone. And I don't know if they would have thrown in Kuzma and Tucker, or if it would have been both. Like, if it would have been both, or just one or two with picks. But we don't know the details. But the fact that like Talen Horton-Tucker was like the no for you, like, yeah, I'm not doing that. It makes me wonder, like, are they stupid?
Yeah, what I'm thinking is like they're trying to keep young talent, but if you have LeBron James, who's clearly, I mean, you're not building for the future if you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Like, get rid of the young guys and go for the veterans, Kyle Lowry right there. So I don't know, but maybe you're right about the whole cap situation, but if they could have worked around it and they chose not to, I think that's dumb on their part, and that lack of guard play is going to come back to bite them.
Yeah, and like I said, I was messing with NBA Trade Machine, so it would have cost them quite a bit of like depth. But I mean, like, you got to ask yourself, is Kyle Lowry worth it? Which is a valid question, to be honest with you. But I mean, we saw what I think he had a pretty good playoff run last year. Yeah. And I mean, like, I think pairing him up with LeBron would have been great because you have another vocal leader. Like, that dude's biggest value is his leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, I don't even want to say like the last 2 years, even with this championship run, I felt like he was playing very solid in the playoffs. So, I mean, you missed out on a veteran essentially.
Yeah. So moving on to number 2. Trying to remember who I thought. Oh, Kyle Lowry. So it goes kind of hand in hand. I think he's also a loser in this because he's now stuck in Toronto. Toronto is worse because they got rid of Norman. Well, I mean, they swapped Norman Powell with Gary Trent Jr. So I don't think they missed out. I mean, I don't think they necessarily got worse just because Gary Trent Jr., he's also a pretty good piece.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I don't know. I just think he's considered a loser in this because Toronto might legit miss the playoffs. It's looking that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a free agent next season, right? So
is he?
Is he? I thought that was. teams were like
Oh, you know what?
hesitant was because he's a rental.
Exactly. I think that's the reason why a lot of people probably weren't willing to gut their team for him. Yeah. He's on a 1 year, $30 million deal. Which, I mean, like, if you got sent to a championship contender, I'm pretty sure Kyle Lowry would re-sign. Like, you might have to give the guy like $20 million a year, but like, I don't know.
I really feel like he would take that cut. Honestly, if he's going to a championship team, he got his 1 year, $30 million. Give him like 1 year, 15, maybe.
Possibly. I don't know if he'll accept that little though. He might. Like, how old is Kyle? He's 34 right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's got to understand his place.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think who can sign him next year? Probably Miami. Miami will probably end up signing him along with Victor Oladipo. Who, by the way, we're going to talk about the biggest loser, the Houston Rockets.
I'll let you go first. I know you want to just cry it out, so I'll be here.
So, 2 o'clock came, Central Time, which is the deadline. No news about the Rockets. The whole thing was silent. There wasn't like any talks. There wasn't like, oh, there's now discussions to be made. So I'm like, dude, like, we're the third worst team. At least stick to that. Like, stick to that plan of getting worse by trading away Oladipo. And I thought we'd get like, draft picks or some young guy. Instead, like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes pass by after Woj tweets out, Victor Oladipo has been traded to the Miami Heat. And so I was like, let's go at the buzzer.
Yeah, you were so hyped on Twitter, I saw.
And then, naturally, your mind starts to think like, oh, who did they give up? Maybe we got like, I knew we weren't going to get Tyler Hero. Like, there's just no chance. Because Tyler Hero was off the books for Kyle Lowry.
And James Harden.
Yeah, and James Harden. Jesus Christ, man, don't make me remember that. So I thought, like, okay, maybe they're going to give up, like Achua or some of these other young talents that they could have got. And, like, maybe some draft pick. No, we got Kelly Olynyk, Avery Bradley, and a 2022 pick swap, which is not going to, like, do any good because Miami Heat's going to be better than us next year. So we gave up the guy for free.
My question is, why didn't we at least just go? Wait, I thought we got a second. Did we get a second?
Like a second rounder?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If we got a second, then never mind. But if we didn't, I'm saying, why didn't we just get a straight up pick? What are we doing?
I didn't know that we got a second rounder.
Let me look. I have the website open.
Okay.
That was my mouse.
I mean, let me see. I'm also looking as well, but I could have sworn.
Oh no, you're right. It was just a draft swap. Okay, yeah, that's the stupidest thing. I mean, like you said, we're just gonna get a worse pick out of that. And Avery Bradley and Kelly Olynyk, they're probably gonna end up free.
We don't get a pick necessarily. We're taking the best pick between us. So it's like there's no real opportunity for us to even get better. It's like basically saying like, yo, you send me. Or how can I put this? Like, oh yeah.
So if Miami did worse than us, then we have the option to take their pick because they'll be higher in the draft.
Correct. Yes. Okay. It's basically like OKC situation with us, except we're top 4 protected. There's no protections on that, but yeah, it's exactly like that. Like essentially where we get the better pick out of the two, which is stupid because it's like it's not gonna happen. Like Miami is gonna have cap space next year, which they'll sign guys and get better. Yeah. And we're going to suck for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I don't know, honestly. Like I said, Avery Bradley and Kelly and Olynyk are kind of useless. You know who I really want to be right now is OKC. I mean, the way they're rebuilding. Did you see how many picks they have?
Yeah, 34 total over the next 7 years.
Just off the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Wait, is it?
Well, no, it's like first and second rounders, they have a total of 34. Total picks in the next 7 years.
That's actually insane. That's a whole draft class.
You don't even have enough like space on your roster to allow those guys.
What is gonna happen with that? I'm actually
They're gonna end up trading a lot of those for like stars in the future and stuff. Which, I mean, it's a great opportunity, you know? Like, you just gotta hope, like, you get lucky. Like, imagine if Houston ends up, lottery comes time, and we don't get a top 4. Let's say it's, like, number 5. That goes to OKC. OKC is also gonna have a really good pick. So if those guys turned out to be, like, really good, you got these, like, young pieces that can be star potential. And then in the future, you're just trading away those picks for Houston, like, not Houston's picks, but basically the picks that you got, you could trade them away, pair them up with a star, and, you know.
Yeah, they're probably like my 2026 NBA champion favorites right now. Like, I'm not even joking either. Like, they're gonna have something ready by then for sure. Like 5 years from now.
They should, yeah. I mean, they're already like they got Shea. He's a stud. Lou Dort's nice. Yeah. And then with these picks coming up, they're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Good for them.
You're hearing it. 5 years from now, when me and Hassan, we've already blown up. We have millions of followers on Hoop MCs. I called that OKC will be the champions in 2026.
Yep. Also, since we're recording this, I'm getting notifications, but Lamarcus Aldridge, he got bought out. Did they announce what team he's signing with?
Miami's the favorites, but he's also talking to other teams. If he goes to Miami, I mean, cool, but I don't think he's going to make like an immediate impact. I just feel like he's too old and slow now. Maybe I'm a casual for saying that, but I don't know.
No, I don't think you're a casual for saying that. Yeah, I think either way, I don't think Lamarcus Aldridge is good enough to start on a roster anymore. Yeah.
So, he'll help the Lakers way more than he'll help with Miami, I'll say that.
Yeah, like as a good backup guy to Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I don't know. It was a crazy deadline. Was there any other trades that we should talk about?
Dallas is getting JJ Redick. Like, he's essentially like the biggest name in that package. Evan Fournier from Orlando. I don't know if that's how you say his name. He's going to the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics.
That's a great trade.
They're also losers, I think, in this trade, just because of the fact that where they're at in the standings, and like you only got Evan Fournier, which he's good. Like, don't get me wrong, he's good, but like you flopped. You couldn't get Aaron Gordon. You couldn't get any other guy out there. Like,
yeah. Lonzo Ball, I heard he was close to getting traded to Dallas. I kind of wanted to see that happen. Wait, was it Dallas or was
it Dallas, or I thought it was Chicago?
I thought, okay, maybe I'm just mixing it up because at the same time they announced a JJ Redick trade, but he was close to getting traded, which I would have been interested in, which is also super awkward because, again, his dad said that he hates New Orleans. So
yeah. I honestly thought he was going to go to Chicago, like Kobe White, like a trade centered around those two, Kobe White and Lonzo Ball.
Yeah,
but
that would have been sick.
It would have been good for both teams, honestly.
Yeah, Vucevic, Levine, and Lonzo. That's kind of a nice big three. I would have loved to have seen.
Yeah, like you just essentially need to. Well, they gave up some draft picks for Vucevic, but they would have had to have given up, I think, some future first rounders to like some way in the future. That would have been a nice core, man. What's it called? Lonzo, Vucevic, and Zach LaVine. They could have been like maybe a 5 seed. I'd give them. I think they'd probably be right after Miami, like that, like the 5th best team.
Going into the offseason, they would have a lot of cap. I feel like, right? They wouldn't be strained by cap if they did that. I don't think Ball's contract is that big.
No, actually, like I think Lonzo's going to get paid pretty nice, like handsomely. But yeah, I don't think like they would have been pretty capped out. I think.
Really?
Well, no.
I don't know.
Actually, I'm wrong because Otto Porter Jr. He was making like $28 million. They got him off the books.
Yeah, and they don't even. I mean, I don't even think Levine's only max, right? Vucevic and Lonzo. I don't think either of them would have.
Levine's under contract next year, so for like $19 million. So they don't got to worry about what's it called, like losing him potentially.
They could have built a really solid squad for at least one huge run. I don't know. We'll never know.
Well, yeah. And they got Patrick Williams, who just got drafted. He's doing all right. It just, honestly, I don't know what that Kobe White situation is going to look like because that guy's not even starting right now.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with him, honestly. What can you do with him?
I thought it was a foregone conclusion that Zach LaVine was going to go to Portland. I mean, not Portland, Chicago. Or no, sorry.
What?
New Orleans. Yeah. Kobe White was going to go to New Orleans for Lonzo Ball.
You said Zach LaVine was going to go to Chicago.
No, I meant Kobe White was going to get traded.
Yeah, I got you.
Shut up. No, it's kidding.
I
Yeah.
feel like we covered all the big trades, honestly.
Yeah. I don't think
wrap it up?
I don't think, huh?
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, we'll wrap it up here right now, but I don't think this necessarily elevates anybody into like championship discussion. You might feel like Denver, but yeah, but still, it's way too crowded, dude. Like you got Philly, Bucks, and the Nets. Like they could go on a sick run. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see, dude.
I don't know. Again, Miami has been my sleeper all season with the Nets as my favorite, and I'm sticking with that. They're only elevated it even more.
We'll see, man. Tyler Hero has been playing like dog water, so
He's going to turn up now.
might be.
And my recording just ended
Nice.
on my phone.
So my guy Nassim actually is having some some video issues, so we're probably gonna have to cut this short. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. This was a recap of NBA trade deadline. We gave y'all the biggest winners and losers. Make sure you follow us on social media, Instagram and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Apple Podcast. Follow us on Spotify. We appreciate y'all. We will see y'all next time.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.
Later.
Trauma bonds, got close off of better scores. Equal pain, so we think it's equal games. Same team, but it's different hearts. Same goals, but it's different shots. Thought we was winning the same. Turns out you were just running me game. Should've known, but I couldn't guess it. It's a damn shame.